Winter has arrived, and that means once those temperatures start to drop, snow and ice are going to start covering those roadways. Now, if you don't have the proper tires or are not prepared for those conditions, it could lead to crashes or you spinning off the road.
Everything you know, especially, again, changing that driving mode from summertime to wintertime is a complete 180 in a lot of ways.
When sitting behind the wheel on bad road conditions, there are ways that you can stay safe and avoid a hazard.
If you can travel during the daylight hours, that's ideal. So that thermal heat from the sun can help break that ice up. But if you're going into shady areas that very seldom sees the sunlight, be mindful. It may be clear for a good stretch, but all of a sudden now you're going into a curve where it hasn't, and now you're hitting black ice again.
Make sure your tires have the most traction possible and are relatively new. When turning, take turns slowly and don't slam on the brakes. Now, if you begin to spin out, the best thing you can do is to not panic. Just gently turn the wheel the other way to even your car out.
Be slow at the brake, but also slow in accelerating too. If you are in a slide, you want off the brake, off the accelerator, and steer the nose of the vehicle in the direction you want it to go. So in an event you take an evasive maneuver, you want off the brake and then steer the vehicle out of that slide or that possible wreck that you could be in.
When there is snow on the roads, you should drive in the path of the car ahead of you, plus keep a good distance away in case you have to stop.
You want that contact patch of your tire making contact with something like the road. Now, if you have a barrier, whether it be ice or snow, packed between that, now you're losing that ability, at least with that stopping distance that you need. So by following somebody else's path, now you're at least down to the bottom to where you're able to get your tire have enough bite to grab and give you that traction you need.
Lastly, make sure you know ahead of time the conditions you are driving in.
The pre-trip, what do we do to take those precautions before we go? Know the conditions before you embark on your journey. And the way you can do that is go to goky.ky.gov to find out not only the travel conditions at that time, but also what's the travel conditions going to be like when you return home. Well, if you were to go to work and it's one way, it very well can change within 6 to 8 hours.
Remember, if you don't absolutely have to go out, don't. But if you do, make sure to find someone who has experience or is confident driving in these conditions. Reporting in Owensboro, Ben Thomas, 44 News.